His Majesty the Queen can look forward to one very special visitor every Sunday at Windsor Castle. But who is that now, in this very difficult time for her? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Thank you for your company today. I hope you're keeping well. And as ever, it's lovely to see you all again. We're outside this wonderful building still today. It's the Sheraton Park Grand. When I first came to London, actually, this hotel was simply known as the Park Lane Hotel, which was always confusing because it's on Piccadilly. And I often think for visitors who come to London and they see these things like Leicester Square, otherwise known to a lot of people as Leicester Square, I'm not surprised you do get confused when you come to our wonderful capital, because they change the names of these grand hotels so many times. But now, as I say, it's the Sheraton Park Grand. We're here on a very busy day, but of course we've also got a breaking royal story to bring to you. Now, as you know, of course, Our Gracious Majesty the Queen has recently recovered from a bout of minor ill health. We saw her, of course, going to hospital for a checkup, and of course she's been relaxing and recuperating out at Windsor Castle for some time. Then, of course, she's now planning to go off to Sandringham for that much needed Christmas break. And the good news is apparently she's going to host all senior members of the British royal family for Christmas. Great news, I'm sure you'll all agree. But here's a bit of inside track that you possibly don't know, and I find this particular story truly heartwarming. As we know, Our Gracious Majesty the Queen has had a very difficult year, particularly of course from April onwards, having lost her beloved Duke of Edinburgh, His Royal Highness Prince Philip. But according to a very good source, every Sunday afternoon for late afternoon tea, she has the wonderful company of His Royal Highness Prince George. But there's more to it though than just tea. Now, the inside track, of course, is that Prince George is dropped off, of course, to spend time with his great granny, Her Majesty the Queen, and it's all very nice and noble. But let me tell you exactly what the sort of background to those meetings are. That's all because, of course, one day His Royal Highness Prince George will become our future King of England, the United Kingdom, Scotland and Wales, and of course other parts of the Commonwealth. Now, what happens is this, and it happens to every single generation of the British monarchy. They spend time with that Now what happens, of course, is they then spend time with that reigning British monarch, and they simply get trained from a very early age. Nothing too strenuous or worrying or anything like that, but basically, the outlines of what could be expected of them, perhaps what the job entails, that sort of thing. This happened, of course, to His Royal Highness Prince William, Prince George's father, and for a little bit, of course, His Royal Highness Prince Harry. Now, according to a very good source, Prince George absolutely delights in these weekly visits because Her Majesty makes them fun, and they talk about all things, particularly animal related. I can imagine, can't you? Horses, and of course the planet, dinosaurs, things like that. But isn't it nice to know in this really difficult time for her that she sees things through a brand new, unseen pair of eyes in His Royal Highness Prince George. Of course, when he looks back at that particular time with Our Gracious Majesty the Queen, I'm sure he will look back with great affection, but more importantly, how wonderful that he has got such a wonderful and esteemed teacher for his future generation. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.